Today we are going to see about center of mass. So we have positioned two particles with the mass m1 and m2. The distance of the particle m1 from the reference point, say origin, is x1, and the distance of particle m2 is x2. Now we are interested in finding the center of the mass, which is actually in between m1 and m2, provided m1 is equal to m2. So the center of mass of this system and the two particles lies along x-axis. So center of the mass will be equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Suppose if m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m, that means both the particle mass is equal, then here you will be having m and m. So this will become 2m. Here m can be taken as common. So m gets cancelled, and finally you will be having the center of mass at capital X, which is equal to x1 plus x2 by 2. Okay. Thus for two particles, particle 1 and particle 2 of equal mass, suppose if they have equal mass, the center of mass lies exactly midway between them. So the center of mass will be exactly middle of this two particles. Okay. Now we have considered only two particles. Next we will consider for three particles. Okay. Suppose if you have three particles, then or n number of particles. Suppose we have n number of particles placed along x-axis, that is m1, m2, m3, like that goes up to xn. Then the formula we will be getting, the center of mass will be m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus up to mn xn divided by m1 plus m2 plus up to mn. Now this can be written as sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi xi divided by sigma I is equal to 1 to n mi, which is nothing but, we need not write this I is equal to 1 n to n because it is understood we are including all the particles up to n, and we have in the denominator also I is equal to 1 to n, it is understood. Now this sigma mi is nothing but m, total mass of the system. So now we have considered n particles along x direction, that is on the x-axis. Okay. Next we will be considering three particles. Assume now we have three particles, not all in the same straight line, so it occupies a two-dimensional space, two-dimensional. So we have m1, m2 and m3 with coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. So previously all the particles were along x-axis. Now the particles spread across xy plane with the coordinates given here. So if that is the case, the center of mass will have a coordinates x and y. So the center of mass C of the system of three particles is defined and located by the coordinates x, y given by. Now capital X we have considered only 3. Therefore m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Similarly capital Y is equal to m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Suppose, as we did with the earlier cases, all the three masses are equal. Say if m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m3 equal to m. So this will become m. Here you will be having 3m. So you can take m as the common term. M and m gets cancelled and finally you will be having 3. So capital X is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3. This is one coordinate. Another coordinate, y coordinate, is y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. So this is if m1 is equal to m2 equal to m3 equal to m. Now if we include the space also three-dimensional, suppose we are interested in finding out particles placed in space, so it becomes three-dimensional. The center of mass C for the particles distributed in space x, y, z is given by x, which is equal to sigma mi xi divided by m. M is the total mass of the system, and capital Y is equal to sigma mi ya divided by capital M, and capital Z is equal to sigma mi zi divided by capital M. Now we have three coordinates representing in space. Now this can be said in terms of vector form. Let Ri be the position vector of the ith particle and R be the position of the center of the mass. So this capital R is the position vector of the center of the mass. So Ri vector can be written as xi I cap plus yi j cap plus zi k cap, and the position vector R vector is equal to capital X I cap plus capital Y j cap plus z k cap. So the position vector of the center of the mass is given by R vector is equal to sigma mi ri cap. This is a vector divided by capital M. Now M is the mass of the entire system. Now so far we have considered only the discrete particles. We are considering discrete particles. Now when we deal with continuous distribution of particles, in that case we go for integration. So for continuous distribution of mass, the coordinates of the center of mass will be given by x is equal to sigma del mi xi. So this is we are considering very small mass of the particle. Okay. Likewise, adjacent to that particle, we will be having a continuous chain of particles. Therefore, we are dealing with mass of the smallest particle. So del mi into xi divided by sigma del mi. Similarly, the y coordinate will be sigma del mi into yi divided by sigma del mi, and z is equal to sigma del mi into zi divided by sigma del mi. So now we have the coordinates. Now when we want to express as a continuous distribution of mass, this sigma del mi will be replaced by integration dm, because this sigma is nothing but integration, del mi is nothing but dm. So integral dm, we all know that is m, so it is capital M. So the capital M is the total mass of the system. Similarly, sigma del mi into xi, so you write xi as it is x, and del mi is nothing but dm. Similarly, for sigma you are writing integration, y you are writing a y, and del mi is nothing but dm. Similarly, the third quantity sigma del mi into zi, so sigma is replaced with the integral, zi is replaced with z, and del mi is replaced by dm. Now these are all in discrete forms, these are all in continuous form. Okay. Now therefore we can say, if you substitute these notations into this formulas, what will happen? X sigma del mi into xi, this one, so integral x dm divided by sigma del mi, which is nothing but m. So therefore we can write x is equal to 1 by m integral x dm. Similarly, capital Y is equal to 1 by m integral y dm. Similarly, capital Z is equal to 1 by m integral z dm. So if whenever you come across a symbol like this, a integration symbol, it means it is for continuous distribution. Okay. And finally, we have the vector expression equivalent to these scalar expressions. That is, these are all scalar expressions. Now this can be said in vector form, so that our expression becomes very easy. So these expressions can be said in vector form. the vector expression equivalent to these three scalar expressions is r vector, which is the center of the mass, position vector of the center of the mass, is equal to 1 by m integral r vector into dm. If we choose the center of mass as the origin, suppose in this three-dimensional coordinate system, if we choose the center of mass at this point, then we have said already the center of mass, this is the position vector of the center of mass. So if it lies at origin itself, then this value will become 0. So this value has become 0. Okay, so r vector equal to 0. Now you bring this m also, so then you will be having integral r dm is equal to 0. So r vector, this is basically a vector quantity. So r can be split into three terms, x component, y and z. Therefore integral x dm is equal to integral y dm is equal to integral z dm, which is equal to 0. So the general formula is only this, but if the position vector of the center of mass lies exactly at the origin, then in that case you will be having this expression. Hope you have understood about this topic, center of mass. Actually we have discussed about initially with particles lying along x direction, then we have derived for particles lying in a area, that is x and y space, x and y plane, and finally we have dealt with xyz plane, and we have said the resultant in terms of vectors also. So that's all about this topic. Hope you have understood center of mass in detail. Thanks for watching this video. Nandri.